Hey there boys and girls, Lucky here and welcome back to another CSGO video. So today I want to talk about getting early picks with the AWP right here in Mirage. And this is basically like an entry frag tutorial for AWPing, so please let me know in the comment section down below if you also want to have the same kind of video for all the other active duty maps as well. But now I would say let's get right into it. So the first and most important thing for getting early picks with the AWP is your spawn. So as we can see right here, our teammates would have spawned in kind of this U shape. And I probably would have been right here, and this is a very good spawn if you want to go for a mid peak or a B spawn peak. So we got a good spawn towards B and mid, and we want to go towards B apps this time around and get an early pick into B, specifically the kind of van area. So what you usually would do is kind of you would post up like this and try to get a pick on the guy right here. Sometimes they're just jumping down here, in which case it's very good to have your crosshair kind of on the lower side. And usually they would be standing either on the barrel right here, or on this little kind of crates, or on the van itself. So what you would usually do is you kind of peek right here first, then check the van, and then you check this side. And like this you would probably get an entry frag or an early pick on B. Now, same spawn again. This time we're going to go towards mid. There are actually a couple of things that you have to take into consideration when you want to peek mid. So first of all, you do not have to peek this right here first. You do not have to peek connector first, because the way it goes, the guy in window will always be in window way before the guy is up here in connector. So you usually should be able to first, when you come around like right here, peek into window, no one's there, and if you know no one's there, you want to kind of switch your seat and kind of check right here, because it takes CTs longer to get into connector than with the best spawn right here into window. But keep in mind, if the other CT guy has the best spawn, he'll be in window first before you are, so you'll have to kind of use the peeker's advantage and try to get him like this, because otherwise he'll have the shot on you. Now let's go over towards the A side. There's actually only one good pick from my point of view which would really help you. And that would be, if you got a good spawn like this guy right here, of course get your knife out in order to be as fast as you can, go around right here, and then you kind of want to peek ramp, so right here. This is usually where CTs would jump across and try to cover or kind of just cross over. And also this is usually a spot where you would CTs find peek you. So once again, it really depends on if you got a good spawn or not. And this is another point where you could be peeking or picking a CT. Last but not least, if you know the CTs are pushy, you can also go into Palace. And if you go and go and go and go like this, you can then once again kind of post up right here and just wait for someone to push. That's a good way. However, usually CTs might be faster as well, so just kind of sneaking around like this and making sure no one is there should usually yield better results. Another thing that you can also do is kind of try to just wait out if someone is kind of coming back from Sniper's Nest right here out into the jungle area, and then you can usually get an easy pick on him. And that's basically all you can do right here on the T side on Mirage. Now for the CT side. So, as we can see, you got a good spawn towards A right here. And what we want to do is we want to peek Palace. So once again, we're just running up right here. And the most important thing that you have to know is you're not going up by the ladder right here. This actually takes you longer because you have to go up there, underneath there, and you want to go around. A faster way is to use these crates right here. However, you cannot jump up onto these crates just like this. So there's a little issue. However, we got these little steps right here. So when you kind of crouch jump on here, you're able to get there a lot faster. And like this you can peek into Palace very, very quickly and usually get an early pick, then just fire and fall back onto site and you should be good to go. Of course, another thing that we can also do, if we got a good A spawn right here, we can usually just come around right here and then just also peek into ramp like this. And this usually also will give you a kill depending on if you got a better spawn than the terrorist or not. Once again, you can also then proceed to go on to connector and try to get a pick right here or from down here. But usually, if you want to go to connector, as you can see, you have to go all the way through a side and come here. So the guy who's going into window usually is faster. So let's talk about window now. So if we got a good spawn towards B or towards mid, you usually want to have a guy for you that's kind of shooting, like just running like this and shooting out the thing for you, in order to enable you to just run with your knife like this, so you can actually get in there faster. But you can also, of course, kind of slit it with your knife. And what you want to do is, you don't want to take this angle. This angle is actually not the best one. I mean, it's kind of a defensive angle because you can kind of take a pick and you can fall back easily. A better pick, however, is if you want to kind of take this side. It's kind of hard to see through all the railings right here and stuff like that. So you usually should yield, once again, better results in order to get the enemy guy right there. Also, you can, this is kind of a weird thing that I sometimes do, I jump into the window because if you got the best spawn, you'll be able to kind of drop down right here before any of the Ts will be able to see you. So sometimes I just do that because, of course, if you're on this side, you're kind of stuck right here. They can nade you, they can molly you, so it's kind of hard. So just jumping on like this and then kind of taking a shot and falling down will kind of enable you to play more with cover on this side right here. Of course, you can get flanked from underground. It all depends on how the Ts are kind of playing. So in general, I'm not the biggest fan of kind of peeking from mid. I mean, usually this peek right here is kind of safe, but it's also not the best because you'll get pre-fight very often, because this is the spot where the Ts will be looking for. If you're on this side, they won't be looking as much because they have to check connector, this side right here, and then this side. Now let's talk a little bit about B. So once again, if we got a good spawn towards B, same as we would have for mid, the thing that we want to do is basically the same as we already saw on the T side. So you want to go right here, through kitchen, and then you want to jump onto the crates or the van or the barrel. It all depends on how fast your spawn was, and just kind of post up like right here. Or you can also kind of drop down crouch right here and try to get a pick like this. And you can just fire and you drop down. Also, of course, you can alternatively, if you're pushing up, because usually your friendly will kind of smoke this right off if you do not tell him to not do so. However, you can usually still get a decent pick if you kind of just jump right here and then just post up like this and wait for the smoke to clear. Of course, it takes a little longer to get from here to right there, so getting an early pick is better if you're on the van itself than kind of trying to move up right here and just trying to get a pick from there. Last but not least, you can also go to short right here and try to get a pick from here. Usually this works very well if you kind of just post up like here. Because, as I said before, the guys are checking this spot, and this spot, and this spot, and usually they also smoke it off right here. So if you're on short with an op, you can usually try to get someone on the boxes, or someone trying to push through the smoke. This is not kind of an early pick, but still a scenario where you might get the first kill of the round with an op. But yeah, these were my little tips for entry fragging with an AWP on Mirage. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, feel free to leave a like to show everyone that you did. But I think it's pretty much for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and luckySkillFaker out.